Imagine waking up every morning with the quiet hum of your body working faithfully in the background, a set of organs filtering your blood day and night, never asking for thanks. Yet most people don't realize just how fragile those two little bean-shaped guardians, the kidneys, really are. They don't shout when they're in trouble. They whisper, and by the time their whispers grow loud enough to hear, damage may already be underway. I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Channel Vital Science for Seniors. Today I want to invite you into a story about food. Not just any food, but the hidden choices that can either protect kidney health or slowly chip away at it. Some of these foods carry reputations as wholesome, even nourishing. But in truth, they may be sabotaging your kidneys in silence. Let's journey together through 8 surprising culprits and discover healthier paths forward. When I was a young physician, I remember meeting a man named George, 68 years old, who came to me feeling unusually tired and swollen around the ankles. He had lived on deli sandwiches, ham, salami, hot dogs, because they were quick and reminded him of lunches he used to share with his coworkers. What George didn't realize was that every slice he stacked between bread was loading his body with sodium and preservatives. Sodium is like pouring sand into delicate plumbing pipes. It raises blood pressure, retains fluid, and makes the kidneys struggle against an uphill current. The preservatives and phosphorus additives found in many of these meats are even sneakier, building up in the blood, leaching calcium from bones, and stiffening blood vessels. For someone with high creatinine levels, a warning sign of kidney strain, those daily sandwiches can act like gasoline on a smoldering fire. George and I worked together on simple swaps. He discovered that fresh turkey breast, grilled chicken, or even chickpea salad gave him the same satisfaction without punishing his kidneys. His ankles shrank, his blood pressure eased, and most importantly, he regained the energy to walk his granddaughter to school again. For older adults, deli meats may feel like comfort food, but they can become a silent villain. By shifting toward fresh, unprocessed meats or plant-based proteins, you're not only making a diet for kidney disease prevention, you're choosing foods that help protect kidney function for years to come. Sometimes the smallest change, like saying goodbye to a pack of bologna, can write the first chapter of recovery. A woman I once treated, Maria, was in her early 70s. She had a radiant smile, but her energy seemed to drain by mid-morning every day. One glance at her kitchen counter revealed the culprit, a line of soda cans, her pick-me-up. Colas in particular carry a hidden edge. Their dark color often comes from phosphoric acid, which doesn't just flavor the drink, it silently raises phosphorus levels in the blood. For a kidney already working hard, that's like piling bricks onto an already heavy backpack. Over time, the weight can weaken bones, stiffen arteries, and push creatinine levels upward, hinting at kidneys under stress. The sugar in sodas tells its own story. Imagine pouring syrup into the engine of your car. Sticky, overwhelming, clogging every gear. That's what excess sugar does to the body, raising blood pressure, fueling diabetes, and inflaming kidney tissue. Even diet sodas aren't innocent. Research has shown that frequent consumption can still nudge kidneys toward damage, perhaps through artificial sweeteners and the way they alter metabolism. When Maria finally swapped her sodas for lemon water and soothing herbal teas, she noticed something remarkable. Her blood sugar steadied, her swelling eased, and she felt light enough to walk to the park again. Science backs her choice. A large study in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that people who regularly consumed 2 or more sodas daily had a significantly higher risk of kidney decline. The truth is, every fizzy can carries a hidden cost. Reaching instead for water, herbal tea, or a glass of fresh juice is like giving your kidneys a deep sigh of relief. Not long ago, I met Thomas, a retired teacher who prided himself on drinking a tall glass of milk with every meal. Good for the bones, he would say with a grin. And indeed, for many years, dairy was his badge of health. But when his lab results began showing high creatinine and his energy dwindled, we had to take a closer look. Dairy, milk, cheese, yogurt does carry calcium and protein, but it also comes with hidden burdens for kidneys. Each serving is rich in phosphorus, a mineral that's helpful when your kidneys are strong, but dangerous when they struggle. Too much phosphorus is like pouring cement into delicate blood vessels, hardening them and weakening bones at the same time. Dairy also delivers protein, which in moderation supports health, but in excess becomes a heavy workload for kidneys. It's like asking a small water filter to strain muddy water all day long. Eventually it clogs. And then there's potassium, plentiful in many dairy foods. For people whose kidneys can't balance potassium, levels can rise dangerously high, leading to irregular heart rhythms and muscle weakness. Thomas was hesitant at first, but when he replaced his morning milk with almond milk, tried oat milk in his coffee, and swapped processed cheese for a small serving of low-phosphorus alternatives, he noticed changes. His blood tests improved, his swelling eased, and his afternoon fatigue lifted. It wasn't about giving up comfort, but finding kidney-friendly versions. For anyone searching for a diet for kidney disease, recognizing dairy's double edge is vital. Choosing plant-based alternatives can protect kidney health while still offering pleasure in every sip and bite. I remember one afternoon, a patient named Evelyn came into my office holding a grocery bag. She pulled out a loaf of whole wheat bread and smiled proudly. "Doctor, I switched from white bread. Everyone says this is the healthier choice." And for most people, Evelyn was right. Whole wheat is rich in fiber, minerals, and nutrients. But for kidneys that are vulnerable, the picture changes. That dense slice she held in her hand carried more phosphorus and potassium than the soft white loaf she'd abandoned. To healthy kidneys, those minerals pass through like travelers at a train station. But to struggling kidneys, they linger, pile up, and cause trouble. Excess phosphorus can sneak into blood vessels, hardening them like cement in water pipes. Too much potassium is even more dangerous. It can disrupt the steady rhythm of the heart, like a drummer suddenly losing the beat. Evelyn's story is common. She thought she was protecting her body but found her creatinine levels creeping higher. When she switched back to white bread, in carefully measured portions, her labs improved and her energy rose again. It was a reminder that what's healthy for one person may be harmful for another. Fiber from whole wheat can be wonderful for digestion, but when kidneys falter, even good things in excess become burdens. The lesson isn't that bread is the enemy, it's about choosing the kind that matches your body's needs. For many with kidney concerns, refined bread, though less glamorous, is safer fuel. Paired with guidance from a dietitian, it can become part of a balanced diet for kidney disease, proving that sometimes the simpler path is the gentler one. Arthur, a lively 71-year-old, used to start his mornings with 3 mugs of strong coffee and often reach for an energy drink in the afternoon. He told me, "It's what keeps me going, Doc." But soon he was running to the bathroom constantly, his blood pressure began creeping up, and blood work revealed rising creatinine levels. Caffeine acts like a whip to the kidneys, pushing them to filter more and more, leading to frequent urination. Imagine asking a tired horse to keep galloping by, snapping the reins harder. It may run faster for a while, but the strain builds silently. Caffeine also raises blood pressure, one of the leading culprits behind kidney damage. For someone already at risk, that extra pressure can be like water rushing too forcefully through fragile pipes. Over time, tiny cracks appear, and to make matters worse, caffeinated sodas and energy drinks often carry a double blow: sugar and artificial additives. These not only stress the kidneys further, but increase the chance of kidney stones by pulling more calcium into the urine, leaving crystals behind like unwanted grit in the plumbing. When Arthur gradually reduced his coffee to 1 cup and swapped his afternoon energy drink for water with lemon, he discovered he didn't feel sluggish. He actually felt clearer, calmer, more in control of his days. Science agrees. Moderate caffeine, about 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day, is generally safe, but beyond that, risk rises sharply. For seniors who want to protect kidney health, keeping caffeine in check isn't about deprivation. It's about giving your kidneys space to breathe, to heal, and to serve you faithfully in the years ahead. Not long ago, I sat with a gentleman named Harold who confessed that most nights dinner came from a package. Instant noodles, canned soups, quick-fix snacks. They were his companions since his wife had passed. "It's easy, Doc," he said, "and it fills me up." But Harold's lab work told another story: rising blood pressure, swelling in his ankles, and a troubling uptick in creatinine. Instant foods often hide extraordinary amounts of sodium, far more than our kidneys were ever designed to handle. It's like dumping buckets of salt into a small freshwater pond. The balance is lost and life inside begins to struggle. These foods also carry phosphorus additives, engineered to keep them tasty and shelf-stable. Unlike natural phosphorus from whole foods, these additives slip quickly into the bloodstream and linger, hardening blood vessels and weakening bones. On top of that, instant foods are stripped of nutrients. They bring empty calories, refined carbohydrates, and unhealthy fats, nudging people toward diabetes and weight gain, two of the most powerful villains for kidney health. When Harold began cooking simple meals, scrambled eggs with fresh vegetables, baked fish with a squeeze of lemon, or even a hearty bowl of oatmeal, he was amazed at the difference. His blood pressure steadied, the swelling eased, and he felt proud of reclaiming a sense of control. For seniors, the message is clear. While an occasional instant snack won't destroy your kidneys, relying on them day after day is like building your health on quicksand. Choosing fresh, whole foods is choosing stability, nourishment, and a diet for kidney disease prevention that truly supports long-term vitality. One of my patients, Lillian, loved her dried fruit mix. She carried little bags of raisins, apricots, and dates in her purse, saying they were her healthy candy. For many years, that seemed harmless. But when her potassium levels spiked and her heart rhythm grew irregular, we had to uncover the truth. Dried fruits, along with certain Mediterranean favorites like pomegranates, figs, and avocados, are packed with potassium. For kidneys that filter normally, that's manageable. But when kidney function declines, potassium becomes like guests at a party with no way home. They linger, overcrowd the room, and create dangerous chaos. High potassium can cause weakness, irregular heartbeats, even sudden cardiac events. Nuts and seeds, often part of the same snack bag, are rich in phosphorus, which overtaxes already struggling kidneys. Dried fruits also concentrate sugar, turning a handful of raisins into the equivalent of spoonfuls of syrup, a hidden risk for diabetes and weight gain. And some, like figs, contain oxalates that can lead to kidney stones, adding yet another burden. Even when packaged attractively, many dried fruits are coated with salt or preservatives, amplifying the kidney strain further. When Lillian shifted from daily dried fruit to carefully portioned low-potassium foods, berries, apples, pears, her lab results improved. She still enjoyed sweetness, but without the hidden dangers. For older adults looking to protect kidney health, moderation is the key. It's not about erasing joy, but reshaping it. By choosing fruits that nourish without overwhelming, you build a diet for kidney disease prevention that honors both your taste buds and your long-term well-being. Sometimes the sweetest choice is also the gentlest for your kidneys. A man named Carl, 74, once laughed when I asked about his eating habits. "Doc, I don't cook anymore. The burger place down the street knows me by name." It was convenient, comforting, and for him, a social ritual. But beneath that routine lurked trouble. Fast food is often saturated with sodium, the quiet villain of kidney health. Every salty fry, every seasoned patty pushes blood pressure higher, forcing kidneys to strain like a small pump battling against a flood. The phosphorus additives used to preserve and flavor these meals slip quickly into the bloodstream, stiffening arteries and weakening bones. And then there are the fats, saturated and trans fats that encourage obesity and raise cholesterol, tying the heart and kidneys into the same snare. Add sugary drinks, fried desserts, and refined carbs, and it becomes a toxic recipe for diabetes, the leading cause of kidney disease. For those already managing high creatinine levels, fast food is like throwing logs onto a smoldering fire, accelerating the damage. Carl didn't believe change was possible at his age, but with gentle steps, grilled chicken with vegetables, homemade soups with low salt, even simple whole-grain toast with avocado replaced by lower potassium spreads, his health turned a corner, his swelling eased, and he proudly showed me his blood work with improved numbers. The truth is, kidneys thrive on consistency, on foods that nurture rather than shock them. Fast food may promise convenience, but the real cost is independence and vitality. By shifting toward fresh, home-prepared meals, Seniors can protect kidney function and reclaim joy in daily living. For Carl, the choice meant not just longer life, but better life. Your kidneys are faithful companions, working tirelessly every hour of every day. The foods you choose can either lighten their load or quietly wear them down. By stepping away from hidden dangers, processed meats, sodas, instant meals, and fast food, you create space for healing and strength. By leaning toward gentle choices, fresh vegetables, low potassium foods, and nourishing home-cooked meals, you protect kidney health and preserve independence. Remember, change is possible at any age. I'm Dr. Brian, and I believe every step you take toward mindful eating is a step toward freedom, vitality, and joy. Your kidneys will thank you.